Whether you're restoring a classic or bringing new life to a daily driver, the frame is the backbone of your entire project. And today, we're taking you through a complete frame restoration from start to finish, showing you every step of the process to transform a rusty, corroded frame into a protected, rust-free foundation. This process will not only eliminate existing rust, but also keep it from coming back for years to come. And as always, if you're curious about the products we use in this video, you can go to the links in the description. First up is removing all that rust. Media blasting is the most effective way to get down to bare metal, and it's pretty essential for proper adhesion of the coatings that we'll be applying later. Since the frame is obviously too big to fit in the standard media cabinet, we brought it outside along with our 100-pound pressure blaster and a few bags of Epix media. There are a ton of media options to choose from. We chose to use Epix because it works like aluminum oxide, but it's a little bit less aggressive and considerably less expensive. First, we lay down a tarp underneath the frame. That way it's going to be much easier to sweep up the spent media and reuse it by simply reloading it into the pressure blaster. We chose to use a smaller nozzle because it allowed us to concentrate the blasting on areas that were considerably more corroded. It also gave us a narrow pattern to blast the tight, harder to reach areas. The downside to this is that it takes a little bit longer to strip those large areas, where a large nozzle would have done the job a little bit quicker. All in all, it took us about a day and a half to totally strip down the frame to bare metal. Upon bringing the frame back into the studio, we discovered a few spots that we had missed while media blasting outside. This is a common occurrence when media blasting outdoors in direct sunlight, so a quick fix for this is to lay down some plastic in the studio and use a spot blaster to finish stripping the frame inside. Alternatively, you can bring the frame back outside and touch up any missed spots. It's possible that the rust has opened up and created holes on the frame. To fix this, you can use a step bit to open the holes back up to the point of good metal. Then you can tack in metal plugs to fill those holes and then seam weld them home. Some spots may require a little more repair, like this part on the right rear that had rusted throughout from the top as a result of water dripping down from the body and pooling on a low drip rail in the frame. There was also a similar situation on the left side inner rail. To fix these, a larger patch panel with the same thickness as the original frame will be necessary. For patch panels that require a slight arc to fit flush with the frame, you can use a hydraulic shop press or a hammer and dolly to gently bend the panel until it has the right profile. Once in place, you can tack weld the patch panels to the frame and seam weld them closed. After grinding down and cleaning up the welds, you can move on to the next step, internal frame coating. It's likely that some of the media and other debris will have found its way inside the frame. A great way to deal with this is just to use compressed air and to blow out as much as possible. Removing the debris is a crucial step to get the best adhesion possible. Internal frame coating is applied using a 24-inch rubber tube with a 360-degree conical nozzle. It gives you complete coverage inside that frame. You can also use the upgraded heavy-duty 2-foot hose, which is definitely more rigid than the standard hose, and that allows you to actually get deeper inside the frame without it rolling up on itself. And as you can see, the coatings seem to have gotten just about everywhere on the inside. For this frame, we ended up using 2 cans to complete the job. After this, let the frame sit for a couple days to dry before focusing again on the exterior. Now, before applying primer to the frame, the bare metal needs to be prepared for maximum adhesion, and this means acid etching the frame, using Fast Etch to remove any flash rust that may have formed. When applied, Fast Etch leaves a mildly toothy surface, which is perfect for primer to adhere to. Additionally, it leaves behind a gray phosphate coating that prevents any flash rust that might appear in the interim. Working section by section, spray Fast Etch onto the frame and then scuff it with an abrasive pad. And finally, neutralize the acid with pre-painting prep. After all that, the frame was now ready for primer. For primer, we decided to go with the 2-stage OptiFlow Epoxy Primer. Normally, we might spray the primer onto the frame using a paint gun, but that would require setting up an inflatable paint booth. To keep things simple and mess-free, we're going to roll on the primer using a paint roller after combining the primer and the activator. Stirring it really well to remove any solids and pouring it into a paint rolling tray, it's time to prime. For projects like this frame, the foam roller is perfect for a smooth and even coverage on the larger, flat surfaces. The tip of the roller can dab primer into any corners and recesses, and for even smaller, tighter spots, a small foam brush will get the job done. Not every part of this frame can be primed using the roll-on application. So after letting it dry overnight, you can look for any spots you might have missed. We found a few bare spots in places like the spring perches and underneath some of the smaller brackets. These became apparent after flipping the frame over. To touch up these missed spots, you can use an aerosol primer, like our 2K Epoxy Primer. This is a very cool product because the primer and the activator are contained inside the can in separate chambers. Once you activate it by pushing the red button on the bottom of the can, the two components mix perfectly as you spray. The nozzle is designed to mimic the fan pattern of that of a paint gun, ensuring complete coverage. After letting this dry, it's now time for the final protective layer and the finish that brings it all together using our 2K ceramic chassis black. Now, there's a few ways to apply chassis black, like painting it on or using an aerosol version. But to get the very best finish possible, we recommend using a paint gun for the final top coating. To keep your workspace clean from overspray and to avoid any contaminants from ruining the final finish, you can use an inflatable paint booth like we have here. We'll be using the LT100 HVLP spray gun, which is a very budget-friendly option, designed for DIY use at home. This gun only requires 4.5 CFM at 30 PSI, which is ideal for small home shop compressors. It's easy to use, easy to maintain, and with multiple nozzle sizes available, it's perfect for a wide variety of projects. When spraying a frame like this, we recommend starting in the corners and fanning out towards larger spots. This ensures the most even coverage possible. 2K Ceramic Chassis Black is a great option for top coating because it protects against corrosion, scratches, and chemical fading. On top of that, the satin finish matches the OEM undercoatings and looks great. To cover this entire frame, we ended up using about 2 quarts. Each quart covers about 50 square feet, so the amount needed will depend on your frame. Once you're finished spraying, let the frame dry for a couple days to make sure it's completely set. And there you have it, a complete frame restoration from start to finish. We've taken this frame through a couple crucial steps. Media blasting away surface rust, welding in solid patch panels where needed, thoroughly cleaning every surface, protecting the hidden interior cavities with internal frame coating, conditioning the exterior with Fast Etch, building a corrosion-resistant foundation with our epoxy primer, touching up hard-to-reach areas with our 2K primer cans, and finally, top coating everything with the 2K ceramic chassis black. The frame is now protected from the inside out with multiple layers of great coatings designed to prevent rust and keep it solid for years to come. Regardless of your project, taking the time to properly restore and protect your frame is one of the most important investments you can make. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.